My name is Tan Chai Hock Alfred, and I'm going to tell you a story titled Growing Up with Grandpa. Yang Kuo was in alert position. He faced old monster, and today he must win, or else he would lose possession of Xiao Longnu, the little dragon lady. This was one of the many stories that paternal grandpa, told me when I was very, very young. Grandfather Tan Eng Guan was a taxi driver. Prior to working as a taxi driver, he was a lorry driver. The people in my neighborhood liked Grandpa very much, for Grandpa was a benign and kind person. However, he had also his own weaknesses, like indulging in gambling and leaving a pile of debts to clear, as well as being a chain smoker, which was to cost him his life. I remember, rain or shine, Grandpa would come in his familiar taxi to fetch me home. The hooting sound of his taxi was the clarion call for me to go home. Soket Bing, who was also my neighbor and schoolmate, would also sit at the back of the car, and Grandpa would then tell us enchanting stories of and his encounters with his customers. During his free time, Grandfather would listen to the stories narrated by Ong To via rediffusion. He would also spin enchanting and mystical stories of the days of old. I would sit enthralled and be mesmerized by his excellent stories of the Dragon King, the princess and the princesses, and the chivalrous stories of the heroes and heroines. Perhaps this was to have a pronounced effect on my love for history, writing, and reading. I remember the story of the Moon Lady which she told me. Once upon a time, the world had 9 scorching suns, and that made Earth a most unbearable place to live in. The sweltering heat had caused many people to perish. A brave man by the name of Ho Yi finally managed to shoot down 8 of the 9 suns, leaving only one behind. As a result of these brave deeds, Ho Yi became the emperor. However, greed soon possessed him, and he wanted to live an immortal life. Many people had to be sacrificed in the process of making the magic potion or pill. His wife, the compassionate and lovely Chang'er, decided to halt and cease the sufferings of her people. She took the pill and as a result flew to the moon. Till today, some Chinese believe that Chang'er, or the Moon Lady, lives in the moon with her beloved rabbit. In his free time, Grandfather would bring the grandchildren to the beach at Katong Park, and there he would yet again tell us stories associated with the sea. It was rather magical hearing Grandpa tell us all those interesting stories of the years of yore. In primary one, as a rather naive child, I came in first in class and third in standard. I received a book prize from the school. The evergreen book, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, had since been given to my niece to motivate her to study hard. Naturally, the one who was very pleased was my grandfather. Grandfather wanted to buy a gift for me as a reward. Was walking in the market one morning. Grandfather saw a box of colored pencils. He took out a coin and with an earnest face told me that was what he could afford as a gift for me. He admonished and encouraged me to study hard and to lead a worthy, meaningful life. Actually, I did not mind the value of the gift. On reflection, I wish he had bought me a gift which I could keep. The box of colored pencils had long been utilized. However, the words left a deep imprint in me. Thus, in my growing up years, although I went through insurmountable difficulties, I did not give up my resolve an aspiration to pursue my education up to tertiary level. When grandfather passed away at an untimely age of 54 years old, I was not by his bedside. At that time, was in primary 3 and dutifully performing my prefectorial duties, as it was the school's speech day. Grandfather, I was told, was still waiting for me and refused to close his eyes despite his suffering. He wanted to see his eldest grandson for the last time. However, I was not there to bid him farewell and be with him on his final moment. Finally, grandfather could not wait anymore and he breathed his last. Grandfather's demise left a vague vacuum and void in my life. His departure also meant that I also lost my one and only protector. In years to come, when I had to bear with the beatings of my very temperamental mother, grandfather was not there to shield and protect me. Although I only spent 8.5 years of my life with my doting grandfather, I will always cherish the love he gave me. Thank you, grandfather, for your unstinting love, care, and concern.